Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent, and 82 years old, and telling my life story as I ride along on these trikes. Excuse me, on this trike, I should say. And I've been doing this. I had one of my viewers said that he met the challenge and went back and watched every single one of the videos so far. There's around 50 of them. Anyway, starts when I was born, and now I'm in my late 40s. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and if you want to start from the beginning, at the end of this video, there's a link that says Life Story. And so you click on that, and you can get started with them all. Good morning.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. So, anyway, on this video, going to be some stories about dropping things out of my airplane. And so, yeah, I've done that. And I've got another story, so I have to tell you about the time I almost fell out, but we'll get to that some other time. All right, so I had my good friend Tom, the heavyset guy. You get around flying people, and they were talking about throwing a balloon out of your plane, then turning around and trying to hit it with your prop. And so we thought that'd be kind of fun. So we got some of those long wiener type balloons, about 3 or 4 inches in diameter, and we thought we'd be able to see it better if it's long. So we bought some, and then I suppose it was a Saturday morning, and it was overcast, but about less than 10 miles to the north, you could see where the overcast died, and you could see blue sky out there. And now we're going to have some friends barking at us. So I thought, well, the overcast made it so we had to stay pretty low. And so I decided, well, we'll go up through the overcast, and when we're all through playing, we'll go down to that clear spot, and we'll come back home. So that's what we did. We climbed until we got, and my friend Tom had never climbed through clouds before. It's kind of cool. As you start to come, you're coming through it, and it's all gray. You got to be flying by your instruments, and then all of a sudden it starts breaking open, and you can see the sky and everything. Good morning. So, by the way, this is the 4th of July. This is when we celebrate the independence of the United States. All right, so that's what we did. We popped up through the clouds, and then we started heading north, because we're going to end up going north to come back down through the overcast. You don't want to fly down through the overcast just by dropping through. I had a problem. I had a problem with that one time. I was going over to see my brother. Now we got a jet going over. Well, happy 4th of July. Anyway, I was going over to see my brother, and he lived on the other side of the Cascade Mountains, and it was overcast over there. But we were on the radio talking to each other. And so I was coming along, and I thought, I was on the other side of Mount Rainier now, and I was going south towards his house. I thought, I'm just going to drop through this layer of clouds here, because according to my brother, it's clear underneath of there. So I started, before I actually started, as I was thinking about doing it, up ahead of me, probably, 5 miles, this huge military plane came climbing through the clouds at 90 degrees to where I was headed. If I'd have been a little timing different and made my mind up to go through the clouds, we probably would have collided, and I wouldn't be here today. So anyway, I just said, no, I'm not going to do that. So then I went down to got down over my brother. He could hear me overhead from where he was. And so I said, well, just start circling through the clouds, which is what I did, and I came through the clouds. But you just don't want to start going through the clouds if you don't know what's underneath of them. Okay, so now back to my story. So we had these balloons. We got up above the clouds, and we started heading north. And then, so he blew up a balloon and tied it off, and I think we had to open the door to put it out. But anyway, so he threw it out, and then we turned around, came back, and it was really hard because, for one thing, many of the balloons, we never saw them when we came around because they were so small. We're going 100 miles an hour, and a couple of them, they were off to this side or off to that side, and so that didn't work too well. So, so we decided, okay, well, that's not going to work too well. So we went down over the edge of the overcast to where it was clear, dropped down, and we're heading back. Okay, we're headed back towards where we're going to land. And we're coming back, and we're going along, and out of the overcast drops this balloon, real slow as we're going by. And so that was, we thought that was kind of weird. We got to see one of our balloons dropping through the overcast, but we didn't try to chase it. We just said, oh, okay, forget that. So that's one story of dropping things out of my airplane. Now this next story, some people are going to say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Well, toilet paper is biodegradable, okay? And also when you know, we were talking about dropping things out of the airplane with other people and stuff. Somebody said, or I don't know, maybe it was just my idea, but somebody said something about dropping out toilet paper and letting it unroll, get up, 5,000 feet and let it unroll, and then come back and cut as it's drifting down and it's all stretched out, cut it to pieces, go back and forth and keep cutting it to pieces. And so we just said, well, let's try that. So we got some toilet paper and went up out over farm country, and it was a clear enough day. We could just go out over farm country. And now remember, it's biodegradable, but back in those days, the crop dusters, when they would zoom down and then finish a row, they had this little mechanism on their plane that would drop out a strip of white paper, and that would land. And then when they go up and turn around to come back the other way, then they would know where they left off last time. So they did that, and so that wasn't unusual to throw out toilet paper. I mean, it was, but anyway, it wasn't going to make a whole lot of difference. So we threw the toilet paper out, and I got a video. Fortunately, I have a video that another guy named Tom, who flew with me a lot, he was a skinny guy though, kind of like me, but anyway, he went with me and took the camera with him. And so that way we could get a video of it. Basically what we would do is, you couldn't throw it out the window because my windows on my plane didn't open up that far, and so I had to actually open up the door, throw the toilet paper roll out, and then turn around. Oh, you throw it out, and what I learned was you got to be dropping about 1,000 feet per minute as you're going along, and then you got to make a U-turn and go back on the opposite heading that you were on, and you'll probably be able to find the toilet paper and slice through it. And so this video that you're going to see is one of the videos we took. We did this many times, but anyway, this is just a short version, and you'll notice that as we're coming along, who's that guy anyway? As we're coming along, if you look at the instrument panel, you can see there over on the right, there's the foot per minute. How much you're climbing or diving. It starts moving a lot, and then the altimeter, which is a little further over to the left, you can see it's slowly dropping down as we come around. And so we turn around, and we came and sliced. The first time we came, we were too high. We didn't drop enough, and so then in the video, and so then I turned around and came back, and that time we got enough to be able to slice the paper. Also, I've got a shot of where the toilet paper actually stuck to the strut of the wing, and so anyway, so that's what it was like to drop that out. And then I just, if I was good, I could go back and forth and keep slicing off a little bit of the toilet paper. One thing that I learned, for those of you who are interested in flying, is that one time the cardboard roll that the paper's on, it separated from the paper, so the paper just kind of all gathered up into a ball out in front, or just slowly dropping down out of the sky. It wasn't dropping fast, and so it was just slowly dropping down. Well, I saw that, and so I aimed at it so that my wing would cut it. But as I got close to it, it actually just popped up real high over the wing, and I missed it. And I thought, well, that's strange. So then I turned around and came back to get it again, and that time I got a little bit higher than it was, and it's still, even though it was down below my eye level, when I came close to that paper, it got sucked up over the top of the wing. And on the third time, I was actually able to hit it, but the paper had to be way down low, which taught me a lesson that the reason planes fly is because there's a huge suction on top of the wing created by the contour of the wing, which the Wright brothers discovered what it took to make a plane fly is the curvature of the wing. And what happens is, like when a baseball bat hits the baseball and it's a pop fly, well, the bat doesn't move, but the baseball does because it's lighter. And the same thing with the metal wing. The metal wing's like the top edge of a baseball bat, and when the air hits that, it bounces up just like a fly ball, and that creates the suction right behind that area, and that's what lifts the plane up. So anyway, there's a little lesson on flying. All right, so then there's one other time when we threw things out of the airplane, and this was fun. I did this several times. We had to go out and practice it so that we'd get it right, but it was called a candy drop. And what I did was I got a whole bunch of Tootsie Rolls, a little old 1-inch long Tootsie Rolls or whatever they are, and cut 8.5 by 11 paper into strips, and then I'd wrap a strip around and tape it to the end of the strip, tape it to the Tootsie Roll, and then when it fell out, it would have a streamer on it, so kids could find it. Because I did this for the church several times. Well, anyway, so so then you make about a couple hundred of those, put them in. Back then we didn't have plastic bags, just had paper bags. Put it in the largest paper bag you could find, and then you have a guy in the plane with you, and when you get to the right spot, you're going really slow as you can go with the plane not stalling out, and you're coming over the crowd. Then you open the door and dump that bag out, and I'm going to turn around here because we are coming to this road again. We're in my neighborhood. And so then when you dump that bag out, well, then all that candy dumps out, and it drifts down with the little streamers. And of course, I've been I just I run a video along with what I'm talking about here. So anyway, so those are some things. Oh, by the way, one time there was this lady who who was afraid that we should be doing that, because the guy, when he opens the door, he could fall out of the airplane. So my son, who I live with now, when he was like a teenager, he made a dummy. He took his jeans and the shirt, stuffed it full of foam, real flexible foam, and put some tennis shoes on it. And I don't remember what he used for a head. But anyway, and somebody was on the ground to take a picture of this lady, because she was sure somebody was going to fall out. So we came along, and and instead of throwing the candy out, he threw his dummy out. And of course, because it was made out of foam, the first reaction was, ah! Everybody screamed. But then, of course, it kind of floated down because it was made out of foam. So anyway, we did that, and that was just kind of fun. Also, talking about balloons, I don't know, probably at least 2 times when I was flying my plane, usually across country or something, it was unusual, but you'd see where some guy selling balloons had let go of the balloons, and he lost them all. So I'd see those. I saw that, I know, at least twice. And then we'll end with this story about balloons. Back to the balloons again. My little girl, who now is grown, has children, lives in South Dakota. When she was just a small girl, I was in the backyard, or I was out the back door, and I was building a deck onto the back of the house. And she had this little helium-filled balloon she had been carrying around the house and everything. So she thought she would bring it out and come out and watch Daddy. Well, when she came through the door, whatever happened, she comes out the door, and the balloon slips out of her hand and starts going up in the sky. And she says, "Daddy, get my balloon. Daddy, get my balloon." Like back then, she thought Daddy could just do anything. And now she's learned the truth about her dad. But anyway, so those are some stories about throwing things out of my airplane. They're always harmless, but it was enjoyable for me and the people on the ground, places like that. So I want to thank you for watching the video, and God bless.